Hello everyone and welcome to this new series here on the channel as it is using the College Football Revamped mod on NCAA Football 14 as we are going to be the UNLV Rebels for this Dynasty series. Man, I am so excited. I haven't played NCAA Football probably 2016 probably was the last time I played it. Maybe a little later than that, but it's been quite a long time. And when I saw those videos of the revamp mod, I was just like, man, that is so crazy that people can do that, and people are giving new life to this thing, and it's just a lot of fun. And really, with this UNLV Rebels, I think it's just the perfect team to play as for this revamp mod. You got the sick jerseys. You have the new stadium playing, obviously playing in the same stadium as the Las Vegas Raiders, so something that wouldn't have been capable of doing on the actual NCAA 14 video game, so that's very fun. For this intro, we're going to go through kind of what I've got as far as recruiting plans. We'll go through the depth chart a little bit, just kind of skim through it, nothing too crazy there, and then we'll go through what our schedule's going to look like, and also going through just kind of the playbook, just some generalization of what we're going for, offense and defense, and we'll also go through the settings as well, as it's going to be on Heisman mode. I think the quarters are going to be 8 minutes, maybe 10. Kind of already forgot. Nonetheless, though, let's get into it with this recruiting board. So, our recruiting board right now we got 20 people. It's just I think it's the easiest way of starting out. And so, biggest needs. It's probably kicker, because our kicker's a senior. We need a kicker, So we got Tony Davenport, number one, for Chino, California. It's actually, the 9th ranked quarterback, so not too bad. And we'll get a plus 280 every time we visit them and whatnot, so that's great. So it's the automatic 280. Even though, I will say this, we're not on his top 5 of schools. I think we can change that for sure. I think we keep the hammer down, especially with kind of his top teams. There's no California team, and that made me really excited to be like, all right, we can probably get this guy. Because obviously he's not really too crazy about playing away from home, even though, really the big thing is playing time, which, hey, I think that's what every fucking college team that's recruiting against us, I'm sure they're going for the same thing. They need a goddamn kicker. So that's not too crazy for that. As our, actually, a 4-star recruit in Lawrence Stevenson, a top 10 DN, number 9. He is another guy. So our top, I want to say top 3 recruits actually aren't. We don't have them on the top, not even 5 here. Almost out of the top 10. This is a long shot in Lawrence Stevens, but figured might as well try it. Let's go big. He's in the pipeline. Our pipeline is California, Nevada, which are almost losing, in Texas. So that's pretty great. It's pretty great, as far as pipelines I have. You really can't beat that. Nevada's kind of tough because our only Nevada recruit is Dave Scott, and we need him. Even though he's a 61, we need him. We need him to keep the pipeline going. So that's just kind of there. As another DN, 14, so another top 15 now DN. He, again, we don't have him in the top 5. This one's going to be a little tougher, though, because he does have San Jose State, and he's got Stanford, looks like, and he's got Washington State. So he's got a couple of, and he's got Oregon State, Arizona. So he's looking southwest, northwest, and that's going to be a tough one. So again, those top 3, really, I think Tony Davenport may have the best chance out of the top 3, but they are very much like the golden prize. If we get one of those 3, job well done. Great recruiting class. So really, our only needs are, we're not going to count fullback because we don't really use a fullback in our system. So there you go. So our only offensive need is really kicker. But as you see there, tight ends, we have 2 seniors and we got 2 seniors at guard. So probably we'll be looking to get those positions filled as well, either 1 or 2 recruits. DN, even though it's not a need necessarily compared to free safety, having 3 seniors gone is big tough. You can't really replace that. Same thing with our linebacking core. We have 3 middle linebackers leaving, even though we have 3 juniors coming up still. You would like to have one, maybe even two recruits coming in. Outside linebacker, we're a little safer now, even though we're losing two seniors. We have one junior and three freshmen, so we're pretty much fine on from that regard, in my opinion. Maybe we'll snag one, but we didn't have one in our top 20, and I don't think that's really going to change. But as far as really, biggest kind of get we could get, Lance Taylor here as a 69 JUCO guard would be huge at 6'7", 270. That's a big dude to have. And I believe he is on third. Yeah, so we got a good chance here. I think Jeff Carpenter is number one, and he is a 3-star middle linebacker from LA. So that's simple. We'll probably that's a lock, I would say. I don't think really anybody else as far as top schools. Maybe UCLA, but I don't think UCLA is going to be trying too hard on a 3-star recruit. Maybe I could be wrong though. So Dave Scott is a need. Well, need for just it being in Nevada, and I want to keep the home state as a pipeline, even though it's not really going to help us a whole lot. It still would be nice. Really our receivers, we have as our top probably 5 players. You'll see 2 of them are receivers, so we don't really need receivers. But I threw Kevin Lake in there just because he was high on us. I think we were not really high, so maybe we won't go too crazy on him. But he's got 74 spec catch, and he looks like he might be a savage. Might be. I doubt it. It's really as far as big maybe gets that we could get that I would love to have is Fred Smith. Looking at, he's a JUCO defensive end, but he is crazy fast for 270 pounds. I think he ran like a 4.5 40. Would be pretty awesome to have, but I don't think it's going to happen, especially with the weekly bonus being 50 points. I'm going to say that's a long shot. I just figured give him some love. So really free safety is kind of tough because as far as our kind of 3 free safeties we have down, they're pretty much the same, and they're pretty much in the 50s. I don't think we had a single one that was really high on us that we could really snag. Really, besides Robert Harris, but he's a 64. Luckily, we'll get him. We have a good chance of getting him at least. Hopefully, fingers crossed we get a free safety. He's probably our best bet as far as a lock goes. Not a huge recruiting class, which is fine, and especially for someone like me who's getting back into it. I really needed a small recruiting class, nothing too crazy to worry about there. As the schedule, we'll just go to the schedule because schedule pretty important, I think. So, our biggest game I scheduled was Utah. Top 25 team. Maybe by the time we face them, they won't be a top 25 team. We had an FCS team, and we don't need an FCS team. We needed, an actual team to beat and a team that's ranked. This is a perfect opportunity, though, to have them be the 4th game. So at least by the time we get there, I'll know what type of team we're dealing with. We're playing at home, too, so we have that advantage as well. That's really the most important game of our season, I think, to really see how good we are and see just as far as how year 1's going to go. Would be huge. Would be a huge win, that is for sure, and it'd be great for recruiting. That's a big, big win that I think we can pull off. I really do. As far as our depth chart, looks a little bit like this. Justin Rogers, I'm going to have him start. I think just as far as the 3 we have, I was very tempted to have Tate Martell start, but I can't do it. I just can't do it. And Doug, he's a freshman, redshirt freshman. We don't really need him to start right away. His awareness is great, but, I don't really need awareness as I'm the one throwing the goddamn ball. They're pretty much the same as far as stats-wise, around 84, 85. Just Justin Rogers a little bit more accurate, and especially in Heisman rating, we need, the most accurate quarterback we can. Plus, he's pretty athletic too. He can make some probably throws on the run if we need be. 79, he's not crazy. Tate Martell with 97 agility, 97 acceleration is nuts. Very tempting, especially with the offense we're going to run. That could definitely be beneficial. Maybe we'll have some sub packages for him. That's just kind of a possibility thing. Running back situation. Charles Williams is an impact player, senior. He's got a good bit of speed, pretty good acceleration and agility, can break tackles, can be elusive too. He's got a lot of tools, and I think our running backs pretty good. Especially for a junior sophomore. They're probably going to be 80s by the time they're seniors for sure. So that's very fun, very exciting there. Of course, we don't care about our fullback situation. So yeah, we have an 85 and 282s at receiver. I don't like the Kyle Williams' speed as an 86. I'm someone who likes having receivers that are pretty fast. Just it can work though, because obviously he can catch with 85 catching, and he's got some pretty good spec catching traffic. Definitely will need him. Huge gets, and they're having Steve Jenkins and Kyle Williams as two sophomores, very huge for our receiving core and our tight end. As being a 82 overall, 74 speed, pretty agile, pretty good acceleration. Got a pretty good stiff arm, can catch okay. Not a bad option at all. And we also have Noah Bean as well, but I have him as the third just in case we need sub packages and whatnot. And plus to get the freshman redshirt involved if we can to help with his progression. Our line is it's not terrible, but I've seen definitely have seen better. Really, the big saving grace is Julio Garcia at 85 with 97 strength. We're going to be pulling a lot with Julio Garcia. He'll be looking to go second level. Tiger Shanks is a freshman, too, is starting at right tackle. A little scary. As our ends, which obviously both seniors. As then we have a senior D tackle as well with 58 speed. He is definitely a run-stuffing D tackle. As especially running, our defense is going to be a 3-3-5. So he'll be plugging up the middle. We're going to try to at least plug up the middle with him. Linebacker and core, not bad at all, especially for where we're at. We having an 81 speed middle linebacker with 89 agility is great too. I think that's huge to have, especially with the old Mountain West Conference. A couple of teams I know that like to throw the ball. Corners kind of stink. We should probably look into getting better corners, all things considered. But hopefully, just hopefully, we'll be able to manage. But it's not looking great. Though, your true freshman, Cameron Oliver, very good though. So we'll just have to wait for him to get rocking and rolling. But we got those two in the wing, and Devon Walton Jr. and Cameron Oliver. Definitely the future. It will be looking bright in our secondary. As our safety with Bryce Jackson, free safety. Again, I like my free safety to be a little bit faster, but still 93 in agility and acceleration. We'll take it. We'll see how his zone is as well. 75. All right. Well, they're both everything's 75 all across the board there for our safeties, and then our strong safety Phillip Hill. Not fast at all. 78 speed is not great. Not great at all. I don't like that one bit. But he can hit. Not effective, but he'll knock you the fuck out. So at least we got that going for us. Again, looks like man in zone again, 75. Gotta love that. And then, so, our coaching, I guess we can go into the philosophy, not like it matters, but just to kind of, so, our playbook is called the Running Rebels, a custom playbook that is basically a pistol spread offense, but the emphasis is on a lot of motion, a lot of bootlegs, a lot of rollouts, a lot of options, a lot of zone reads. We're just kind of hitting them. There we go. We're just trying to hit the defense with anything we can think of, especially, with the team we have. Having motion type plays will be great for us, just so I know what type of fucking defense I'm dealing with. But if they're running zone, if they're running man, it's just very much a safety blanket, and I'm gonna need it for these Heisman games. I just know it, especially the Utah game. I want to win it, and I think that playbook gives us the best option. 3-3-5 it's I enjoy having a 3-3-5 defense. It's either 3-3-5 or 3-4. It's usually my favorites, but I just think for how kind of our defense is, as far as our secondary is not so good, felt like the 3-3-5 could help us out a little bit from that regard. But our highlight is definitely going to be on offense. I think our offense is a little bit more better than our defense, and we're going to have to put some points on the goddamn board. I'll go through, I guess, the skill trees. Why not? So I went with game management with the computer does not make any false starts for the next level, and the no controller vibration on the road. That's I feel like that's much more effective than having the antifreeze. My opinion there. Then obviously we didn't do anything on recruiting, which might have been a a thing that we probably should have focused on instead. But I just felt like our recruiting class isn't a huge deal right now, so we went with actual going on the field wise. I like doing charge first instead of like roll close or recharge. I feel like it's much more effective to have right out of the gate. Same thing with ball security, which really we didn't really need. I don't think all that well. We probably could have actually went with up tempo, but I don't think we're going to be a crazy up tempo team. Maybe we will though. It just kind of depends on how the game's going there. And the final thing I think we need to run through will probably be the house rules, I guess, and just kind of go through. Yeah, so it is varsity, or it's varsity. It is Heisman, and then it is 10 minutes. I put the player minimum speed threshold to 20. I like it somewhere between 20 and 10. I just went with 20 for now. Sometimes even 0, just to really dictate between the slow and fast players. But yeah, I mean, I feel like a greater speed difference is huge, and I think it plays a big factor in football and just kind of in the game itself. So I felt like that usually needs to go down from 50%. I don't think I changed any of the sliders or anything. I'm just going to kind of play it by ear. If depending on how really the Utah game is going to be the real deciding factor on the settings and whatnot in the sliders. If we put a beat down on them or something, or just kind of depending on how the game is going, definitely could consider changing the sliders to be a little bit more of a challenge. But for right now, we'll just keep it at the default, just because it's been a while. God only knows how I'm going to do. But yeah, that's pretty much how the preseason is going to go. Our first game, just to remind everyone, it's Washington State. So we actually were supposed to face Minnesota, but I changed that and just went with a Washington State. Just felt like, hey, let's keep it in the north or southwest, and I just felt like Washington State would be a fun opener. And then Arizona's going to be a fun one too. I think that's a fun matchup. Central Michigan, I might actually change to again keep it kind of. I wanted a bit of a tune-up game before the Utah game as well, though. But maybe we go with somebody else. We'll just kind of see here what I can, if I see anybody I like. But for now, I think we're gonna keep it Central Michigan. But there is some intriguing matchups, just as far as someone maybe again from the Southwest or Northwest. As I don't know though. I really kind of torn. I mean, maybe Colorado. Yeah, let's go Colorado. We'll even be at them. I don't know. Let's go with versus. Yeah. So that's just kind of where we're at. Now on the run, changing the schedule one final time. And and that will do it for this first episode. Hope you're all excited for these Rebels. I am very, very excited. Very nervous, though, at the same time. Obviously, when you're doing a new series, it's always those nerves. But now it's like, I really gotta, not shit the bed in any of these games. And also have fun, too, at the same time. So there is that. But, we'll catch you guys next time. So these videos are going to come out every Tuesday. That's the plan. So, we'll catch you guys next Tuesday. Take care, everyone.